Hello everybody, this is Micahistory 2, and this is the first video I'm making which is not a re-upload. So yeah, now you can hear my voice from now instead of from 1 year ago. So this will be about the Emu War. As you can tell, um, now I've already made this video before, but since it got deleted I have to re-record it. But yes, it was one of my oldest videos, and so a lot of you guys never watched it. So, the Emu War was a nuisance wildlife management military operation in Australia in 1932 to deal with emus said to be running free in Western Australia. Following World War I, large numbers of ex-soldiers from Australia became farmers in Western Australia. With the Great Depression starting in 1929, these farmers were encouraged to increase their wheat crops, with the government promising and failing to deliver subsidies. However, wheat prices continued to fall, and by October 1932, matters were becoming intense, with the farmers preparing to harvest the crops while threatening to refuse to deliver the wheat. The difficulties were made worse by the arrival of 20,000 emus who were migrating after their breeding season and were heading to the coast from the inland regions. The cleared land and additional water supplies being made available for farm animals by the farmers, the emus found that the cultivated lands were good habitat, and they began to migrate to it. The emus ate and spoiled the crops, as well as leaving large gaps in fences where rabbits could enter and cause further problems. Farmers started complaining, so some ex-soldiers were sent to meet with the Minister of Defense, George Pierce. Having served in World War I, the soldiers knew about the effectiveness of machine guns, and they asked to use them. Pierce agreed. The war began in October 1932, and the Australians were led by G.P.W. Meredith. Yes, Australia actually declared war on a bunch of birds. So the Australians had 2 machine guns, so wow, that's a great amount of military equipment there. 2 machine guns. I'm sure you can defeat all the birds with 2 machine guns. However, the operation was delayed, by a period of rainfall that caused the emus to scatter over a wider area. So the rain ended on November 2nd, 1932, at which point the soldiers were ordered to help the farmers. On November 2nd, the men traveled to Campion, where 50 emus were sighted. As the birds were out of range of the guns, the local settlers attempted to herd the emus into an ambush, but the birds split into small groups and ran, so they were difficult to target. Nevertheless, while the first fusillade from the machine guns was ineffective due to the range, a second round of gunfire was able to kill some birds. Later the same day, small flocks was encountered, and around 12 birds were killed. The next important event was on November 4th. Meredith had established an ambush near a local dam, and more than 1,000 emus were spotted heading towards their position. This time, the gunners waited until the birds were in close proximity before opening fire. The gun jammed after only 12 birds were killed, and they ran away before any more could be killed. In the days that followed, Meredith chose to move further south, where the birds were more tamed, but even there wasn't much success. At one stage, Meredith even went so far as to mount one of the guns on a truck, but that was completely ineffective because the truck was unable to gain on the birds, and the ride was so rough that the gunner couldn't even fire. In total, 50 to 500 emus were killed, the latter figure being provided by the settlers, so, not that reliable. On November 8th, after only 6 days, Australia surrendered to the birds and gave up. And that, my friends, is how the most pathetic war probably in human history ended, where after 6 days an entire country gave up and surrendered to a bunch of birds. But the story's not over completely. After the withdrawal of the military, the emu attacks on crops continues. However, farmers again asked for support. Meredith once again was chosen to lead the Australian army. You see, he's back. The war isn't over. Spoiler alert, it continues. So he arrived on November 13th, and the military did have success over the first 2 days with around 40 emus killed. By December 2nd, around 100 emus were being killed every week. However, once again, Meredith gave up on December 10th, and that, my friends, is how the Emu War actually ended. But even then, it was pretty pathetic that, countries huge as Australia had to go to war with some birds and barely even, I wouldn't even call that a victory. But yeah, And yeah, that's basically it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And guys, this is really important. So I'm about to start a new channel called The Traditionalist. It's like a sort of a political kind of channel where I'll be expressing my own political opinions. Don't worry, I won't put my political opinions on this channel because it's a history channel. But if you're interested in that, please go subscribe to that right now. We're at 10 subscribers, but I need to get as many as possible. Also, if you're not subscribed to this one, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, and so every subscription would help. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to subscribe to The Traditionalist, and I'll see you guys next time.